thanks grace of heaven, virtues of masters, grand predecessors, transmitters, lecturers, for giving me this opportunity to learn to speak on today's topic, why must we receive Tao? Okay, so have we ever felt we are homesick, although we are at home and surrounded by our loved ones? Have we ever felt like we are wandering aimlessly, not knowing the purpose of life? Have we ever felt empty and disconnected despite all the success in life? Um, so I'm sure after receiving that, I have got to know a lot of people, and I realized that many people share the same feelings, that they are homesick, or they are just not knowing what is the true purpose of life, or they felt disconnected for some reason. And I feel like this is the way of unconsciously that we are longing to return, to be connected to something higher than ourselves. And so it's just that when we on earth attach to all the forms, that we are tend to stray away from what is our our true our spiritual connection. So that's why we probably have this kind of feelings. Okay, let's look at this chart. This is how people spend over the years, how they spend their time. Okay, hold on one second. Okay, so notice the over the years that our time that we spend with families, friends, and schools has dissipated, diminishing. And in 1930s, each generation changed actually like in the course of 30 years, every 30 years. So in 1930s, most of the time we spend is with the families, schools, and friends. And then in 1960s, we family become our secondary in general, and friends, we spend more time with our friends, and then family. And then in 1990s, people, I guess they are more involved with works. So besides families, co-workers, interaction is become our secondary. And then restaurants, families, school. But in the 1930s, school and the family was equally as important. So in nowadays, 2024, internet becomes the big things for our daily life. Notice that we spend at least 2/3 of our days online searching for something we're interested in, or spending time online working, and or social media. It's all that's where we spend our time at. Instead of seeking for um, spiritual learning, such as going to the church, or the time of going to the church has become 1.2%, and college is 0.74%. So all that become non-important besides online social medias. Okay. Okay. So this is why we have to look. You see that because we are so far away from the truth, from the Tao, from our Buddha nature, and we created attracts all the calamities in the world, such as in January the 7th this year, there was the fire started in California. There was a 6.8 or something earthquake in China. See, because we don't know the truth and we are tend to get attached to our emotions, to our uh, 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 feelings, to our the uh, of attachments to the status, social status, wealth, looking everything outward instead of inward. And that is why we attract a lot of calamities. This is why heaven descends down. So anyone who has affinity can we see this down and then seek for salvation. The what is Tao? Tao is the origin, the nature, the essence, basis for all existence. So in the New Testament, John chapter 1, verse 1, he says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. So what is Tao? Tao is the true emptiness. Yeah, it gives rise to everything from the Tao. Okay, the whole cosmos is based on its gave rise because from the Tao. Okay, the way is the function of the Tao, the principle behind it. This is how everything is created. And then there has the law or the force of the nature, such as why the sun is always rise from the east and then goes down on the west. Um, you know, after spring, there's a summer. After summer, there's a fall. After fall, there is uh, winter. This is the law of the nature. And then we also has the principle of humanity, the virtue, the more integrity and uh, our conscience. Okay, so we gotta follow the principles of the Tao of the in order to transcend life and death and be at one with our true self. So the truth is the God. Some people ask, is it enough just to be kind-hearted person? Well, many people think that, as long as we don't commit any evil sins, therefore, as when we leave this world one day, we can return to heavens and no need to receive doubt. Um, But whether we are kind-hearted or not, as long as we have this body, we have karma, and our karma bind us in this sixth path of reincarnation. Um, and as long as we have this body, we have emotions, and the emotions will tend to cloud us from, preventing us from making the um, balanced and virtuous decisions, unbiased decisions. Um, okay, so let's look at the great learning. It says 有所愤志，则不得其正. If there is anger or resentment, one cannot attain righteousness. If there is 有所恐惧，则不得其正. If there is fear, one cannot attain righteousness. 有所忧患，则不得其正. If there is worries and troubles, one cannot attain righteousness. 有所好乐，则不得其正. If there's an excess joy or pleasure, one cannot attain righteousness. It's that so it just says that we can be a kind-hearted person, But as a human, we have all these emotions, and all these emotions prevent us from becoming a virtuous person. Okay, everything. Therefore, receiving Tao is to learn our Buddha nature and to take the middle path and do not go to the extreme. Okay, so therefore, if we still have the angry hearts, mad or have hatreds, then we don't have we wouldn't cannot say that we are a kind-hearted person. If we have fears, we you know then we cannot say we have a proper mindset. If we have worries or troubles of something, not knowing what our future holds, if we do, if we do, then we do not cannot say we have proper mindsets. If we have the excess joys and pleasures over a hobby, and if we don't have these hobbies anymore, and if we then we'll get sad, then if we have that, if we feel like that, then we cannot say we have a proper mindset. So all that emotions and attachments was prevent us being, to get connected to our true self. Yeah. So receiving Tao is to learn the truth of about the meaning of life. So what is the meaning of the life? We are we're not here just to be born and be growing up and go to work, get married, and then have kids, and then that's it, the end of the life, right? The true meaning of life um, is to understand what's our true purpose of life. Um, it's past beyond to look beyond the material possessions, worldly success, or fleeting pleasures as these are impermanent and incapable of bringing lasting fulfillments. Instead, we should focus on our inner contentment, spiritual growth, and self-realization. The true meaning of life is to understand the higher truths, such as nature of existence, the pursuit of enlightenment and living in harmony with the universal principles. Yeah. So yeah, this is like really the true meaning of the life that we should consider to look into. Um, and then we should know what is the truth and what is the false. There was I think Buddha in one of the Diamond Sutra, he says, all forms and phenomena are nothing but illusions because it's constantly changing. There's also saying that lives arise or born everywhere and cease or perish anywhere. It describes the impermanence and constant change of life, things and phenomena. All phenomena arise due to the cause and conditions and cease when those conditions change with no fixed or permanent essence. Since arising and ceasing are impermanent, one should not cling to the existence or disappearance of any particular things, as this is simply the law of nature. Learning to accept the law of nature of arising and ceasing allow people to face gain and losses in, in life more calmly. This is also can be understood as uh, the law of impermanence applying to the equal to all things, whether they are great or small, noble or ordinary. Nothing escapes these natural principles. Okay, so we should understand that everything has forms, it's impermanent. Therefore, it's false. It doesn't have the permanent essence. Including our body. Okay, just like our body is constantly changing. If we if it's unchanged, then we can press the button and say, hey, let's have it when we are 18 years old, when we have best health and youth and never age. But unfortunately, we cannot do that. So life it's just constantly changing. Okay. Therefore, instead of attached to our body, we should know who we really are. The body is false self, but every one of us has this true nature, true self from within. When we are so lost, we call it the soul, because soul has attachments. When we are found, we call it our Buddha nature, true self. There's many names to it, but it all meant the same. So only instead of look chasing after the material things, social status, wealth, we should look within and within ourselves and find that our true self. Only this way we can transcend the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. So also in this white period, because we see Tao, that heaven allow us to return to the absolute heaven, cease the cycle of reincarnations for 10,800 years. It's like a great period for affinity for us to receive the Tao, a great blessing. Yeah. Okay. So to receive Tao is a great blessing. Just like if we don't receive Tao after we leave this world, we have to report to the underworld. But because we have that affinity to receive Tao, during the Tao ceremony, there was a dragon form was burned, and our name is registered in heaven in the book of life, and our name is crossed out in the underworld. Therefore, we don't have to, when we leave this world, we don't have to report to the underworld. To receive the Dharma of the three treasure is to open up our heavenly portal, point out our true natures or self, true nature or true self or Buddha from within. Okay, open up the door and the path to nirvana, the end of sufferings. Okay, as you know, to when we know our true self, and then we can, if as long as we don't fall into that duality, the delusional thoughts and attachments, we can learn to enter the path of nirvana and ends all suffering. Because all that dualities, attachments, and our delusional thoughts that bind us in the suffering. Okay. And so we see the Tao is to learn and follow, cultivate the way, is to learn what our true self is, and to cultivate means to get rid of our bad habits and temperaments, to peel off layers of our false self, and to realize our true self from within, and to come to a realization of true God and our true self. Yeah, we we have to know that the truth, the God, the Tao, and our Buddha nature is one. There's no separation. But because we are so attached to this human body, we lost in who we really are. Okay, so receiving Tao is pointing out who we really are. But therefore, we still have to self-introspect, look within instead of outward. Okay. The 专子 is one of the Confucius. Is it? No. He says, 我本不欲生，忽然生在世；我本不欲死，忽然死其志。So his translation is that I did not wish to be born, yet suddenly I was born. I do not wish to die, yet death arrives suddenly. Okay, and then Monte say 生死四大. He's saying that Mencius said birth and death is the great matter of life. Okay, so John is like, birth is something that I cannot control over, and all of a sudden I'm born in this into the existence. It's something that we cannot consciously choose to be born. Okay, it's our karma that pushing us to where we be born at, and it happens due to the external force or our karmic conditions, and then we do not wish to die. No one wishes to die. Most beings naturally desire to live and avoid the cessation of existence. However, we cannot pick the day that when do we want to die, when do we want to exit this world. Therefore, we have no control of death either. Okay, and Mencia says that life is, besides knowing where we come from, and where we are going, everything else in between is trivial. Okay, therefore we should know how to transcend this cycle of life and death. Okay, life is fleeting. Death is arrive at any moment. Understanding where we came from and where we are going after death is the biggest matter in life. Okay, receiving Tao and have the spiritual awakening can transcend this and liberate from the cycle of reincarnation. Okay, some people say, "Oh, my life is so great. Therefore I don't really need to receive Tao." Even if you're trillionaires, like the CEO of Tesla, Elon Musk, right? He still had to go through the 8 suffering of life. The first one is the suffering of birth. Okay, when baby are born, they have to go push out their mother's stomach, and the pain is created, it's excruciating. The mother is going through the labor too, and then the labor pain is also very painful, very difficult, and sometimes people could die from it. That is a form of suffering. Okay, there's aging suffering when one grow older, and the body gradually weaken, functions declines, and appearance change. Aging brings discomfort, loss of vitality, and even fear of death, leaving one's feeling helplessly. Okay, and then there's illness. I believe since the pandemic, a lot of people got sick of COVID. Even just flu or just regular cold could be sufferings. Okay, many people spend nights and days having sleepless nights, dealing with the fever. I'm sorry, fevers, coughings, uh, runny nose, and body aches, soreness. All that is suffering. Okay, and then the suffering of death. Okay, the fear and the pain and confusion experienced when facing death, it includes the sorrow of unavoidable and ending of life, and inability to let go of loved ones and attachments. So that is that's another sufferings. Okay, there is sufferings of being separated from the loved ones. Um, the pain of being separated from the loved ones, whether due to the distance, conflicts, or death, separation from the loved one can bring a deep sorrow, right? I'm sure everyone went through that. When our kids went on to college and we're missing them, and that is sufferings. That is a form of suffering. When our parents went out of states and we couldn't see them every day, that is a form of sufferings. Um, And then there's a suffering of encountered what one's hates, such as having to deal with with people or situations that we dislike. Um, and it includes a conflict in relationships and frustrations of being in an unpleasant environment. I'm sure all of us went through that. Uh, and there is a suffering of not getting what one desires. Okay, I'm sure a lot of people, most men want like beautiful car, expensive cars, and for the females, they love to have an expensive purse. All right, so not able to have that, it's like it's a not it's a pain of not able to attain for what we long for. That includes the unfulfilled desire of wealth, status, and love, leading to the disappointment and frustrations. And then there is the five aggregates, the suffering of five aggregates. They are components of that, the human existence. The forms, the physical matters, sensations, perceptions, mental formations, and the consciousness. These are all the roots of suffering because they are constantly changing, leading to attachments and affliction. The eight sufferings of life highlights the impermanence and dissatisfactions of worldly existence. So by understanding these sufferings that and letting go, one can letting go of these attachments, one can liberate ourselves and find that peacefulness from within. So it's very auspicious that we have received Tao, and to receive Tao is actually, it might seem easy on the surface, that actually there's many conditions that to receive Tao. So Buddha cannot vary three conditions. One of them is that we must have a affinity. Okay, so that affinity is the seeds that we planted in our past life, that we were seeking for the truth for at least couple lives. Okay, so we planted that seed, and this life it came to the fruition. That's why we're able to receive that. And we also need to believe. So if our friends and family drag us to the temple and then asking us to receive that, if we don't believe that, that Tao is the way, the Tao is the way to lead us to the nirvana, they don't believe that. Therefore, they will refuse to receive Tao. And there's the vows. When we receive Tao, all of us had to take the 10 great vows. These 10 great vows we also took in heaven, and we just retake them. We promise, we promise heaven that, and all the saint Buddhas, we will cultivate to be awakened and to lead us, to also guide others to be awakened too, to receive Tao. Okay, and there is four difficulties in receiving Tao too. To have this human body, it's having a human to have this human body. We must have a human body to receive Tao. Animals cannot receive Tao. Spiritual realms cannot receive Tao, but we can uplift the spiritual realms, such as the underworld. If we have enough merits, we can uplift our ancestors or someone we have affinity with in the celestial realm. But there was saying that if we lose this human body, then we might not get it back for eons of lifetimes. Okay, for us to obtain this human body is like a turtle living in the the bottom of the ocean, and then he just every 1,000 years he just come up above the water, and then his head happened to there was a piece of wood with a hole in there, and his head happened to stuck his head in that piece of the wood with the holes in there, and that is a chance of obtaining a human body. So we should treasure this human body, and that we can obtain, we see Tao and cultivate the true path of Tao. And being born in the time and the place where Tao is available. So we might, like some people live in a country where Tao is not propagated over there. Therefore, they have a human body, but they were not able to receive Tao because Tao is not available in their area, or no one has propagated Tao in their area. And being able to encounter the three periods, okay, 三起南凤. In this period, we call it the white periods, and where all the commoners can receive Tao as long as they have affinity and all the conditions are matured, so they can receive Tao. Whereas in the green periods, the Tao is with the emperors. Only kings and emperors can receive Taos. And in red periods, the Tao is with the scholars. Only scholars can receive Tao. And only in this white period, the universal salvation, that anybody who has affinity can receive Tao. Okay. And then meeting the enlightened master, which is our Qigong Buddha and Bodhisattva of moon and wisdom. So during the Tao ceremony, is the Qigong Buddha use the hand of the transmitters to open up our heavenly portal. So without our Qigong Buddhas, our heavenly portal will not be able to open. So this is a very auspicious time for us, and we should be grateful. Okay. Okay, so and also the qualifications to receive Taos had to be matured. We have at least cultivated 3 lifetimes, and our ancestors has performed virtuous acts and merits, and also we have affinity with Saint Buddhas. So I'm sure everyone who receive Tao has met all the conditions in order to receive Tao. Okay. Okay. Therefore, the benefits of receiving Tao is it can change one's life and karmic fates. By cultivating the virtues and accumulate our merits, which is doing someone benefiting other people's without asking something in return. That is a great merit. And when we accumulate enough virtue and merits, it can change our life. Just like our senior transmitter, Jin, there was when he was younger, many fortune tellers told him that he will live up to age of 57 years old, I believe. But through cultivation, through receiving Tao and cultivate, he has changed his life, and now he is 100 years old. Okay, and receiving Tao can escape from disasters and calamities, because when we receive Tao, it's kind of like heaven put a stamp on our foreheads and given the sign that we have received Tao. And there was many stories of people who was able to escape disasters and calamities after they received Tao. Just like this past the fire in California, there was this home temple by a red period home temple, and that house was not burned down due to it's a white period home temple. I'm sorry. And then it also benefit our ancestors and descendants because of this universal salvations. When we receive Tao, our ancestors are no longer have to suffer in the underworld anymore, and they will all get a white lotus flower, and they will go to this room where Kasiddhi Gaba Buddha uh, uh, is doing the lecture, and they can listen to the sutras. So as when they listen to the sutras, it will alleviate their pain and sufferings too. Okay, and when someone attain Tao, okay, when someone become enlightened, all their ancestors and descendants can also transcend, okay, ascend to heaven. Okay, and how the transcend the cycle of death and birth and death and realize our truth, that's the destination. But all that we have to make sure that we cultivate uh, our virtues and merits, which is also get rid of our bad habits and temperaments. So what I'm sure through 60 years of reincarnation, we have accumulated many bad habits and temperaments. Therefore, we need to peel off layer by layer and get to the bottom of our true self. Okay. So to receive Tao is by the enlightened master is to be at one with the essence and true self. When we know our true self, we are at one with God or Tao. Yeah. So it's like to receive Tao is to activate ourselves and to be at one with all the Saint Buddhas. When doing the Tao ceremony, there was this incense was lighted from the central land and then leading to our first treasure and then back. That means uh, this we are being baptized by fire, and then we God and our Buddha nature can be flow as one. And also in the Heart Sutra, it says, 观自在菩萨含生般若波罗蜜多时, is that one had to observe the innate Buddha from within. Then one can truly seek outward to liberate all sufferings of sentient beings. So it's just another way letting us know that Buddha is not some, yeah, of course, there's a outward Buddha with Sakyamuni Buddhas, Buddha of ancient seed, Bodhisattva with wisdom and moon and wisdom. There are many Buddhas, but we also have Buddha from within. Unless we realize the Buddha from within, then we cannot truly liberate from all sufferings. Okay. And this is from Sixth Patriarch of the Platform Sutra. I believe is when the Fifth Patriarch was explaining the Diamond Sutra to Sixth Patriarch, and he came to the enlightenment, and so he came up with this verse. He say, "How amazing the true nature is, pure and undefiled, is unborn and undying, eternal, is inherently complete, lacking nothing, neither moves or stays, all pervading, give rise to all phenomena." So sorry. This expressed that the realization of our true self is inherently pure and unattained. Despite the delusion, attachments, and defilements of daily life, the true nature remains unpolluted as its core. Okay, and it's unborn or undying. The self nature is eternal and beyond the dualistic concepts of birth and death, creations and destructions. It transcends impermanence and exists beyond the time and space. Okay, and it's inherently complete. The self nature is inherently perfect and contains divine wisdoms, virtues, and qualities of enlightenment. No need to seek anything externally, as everything is already exists from within. The self nature is neither move nor stays. It's all pervading. The self nature is steady and unwavering. It's unaffected by external circumstance or internal disturbance. It symbolizes the inner stability and equanimity. It gives rise to all phenomena. The self nature is the source of all phenomena and uh, infinite potentials. It has the created capacity to manifest everything in the existence while remaining unchanged in the essence. So six patriarch perfectly describe how our true nature is. It's very marvelous. So in conclusion, to receive Tao is enable us to discover our true self, to understand the true meaning of life. We're not here just to enjoy life. We're here to find our true self and to help others realize their true self too, to have the inner peace and stability, to escape the disasters and calamities, to benefit our ancestors and descendants, to transcend the cycle of birth, death, and to self-awareness and improvement, to make us become a better person and always to have a introspect, self-reflect. Okay, that concludes my presentation for today's topics. If I have said anything wrong, I ask for Saint Buddhas for forgiveness and all the transmitters, lecturers, and everyone else for corrections. So thank you, everyone. And I also want to dedicate this class to our beloved lecturer. She has passed away last April, and she has been a dear friend, sisters for me. So I want to dedicate this class to her and hope that she will watch over us. Thank you very much.